I come from. The truth is irony, just like animal farm. Justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence. Islamic leaders silence. Kings and queens silence. Traditional leaders silence. So who go say the truth? We are the workers of the call. Now by area, why no better? We are the workers of the call. One guy's why no better? Who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Oh, he needed to not see what I see so. Now your friend on a nine come at them. Only papi obeka nice and yeah. So I want one over you two. Everybody was afraid. And when to Nanan to my cottage again nine. Once my boy dumping one and I. But who go tell the truth? Nanai or say me. Nanso bien person beka wasam because everybody is afraid. Anya safwe muayini. Akuku drofo nyina dalima. And who go say the truth? Obiaja konson so to grow your mansa to me be a cacobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo when you know yet. Na so kutrata down so be dia back or why no keke. I fene for be man mo pia for efo ne cross on my mo. Hanya safwe mo ayini. Akuku drofo nyina dalima. And who go say the truth? Abaya di bote chino. Yedi bi bebo nyande bi. Kachi sa udi oma upipi numa. Would your mind never shine my preference? But who go tell the truth? TUC silence. Even journalists silence. So then who go say the truth? Right is right. Wrong is wrong, no matter how you justify. You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you, now the person become your target. Jobless, no they mean senseless. Poverty, no they mean useless. One day, them go resist.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to my view show here live on Todayghananews TV, where on Monday evenings we do well to bring you very topical, essential, and pertinent socio-political discussions. And every now and again, we go over and beyond and we bring you humanitarian discussions as they pertain mostly to Ghana, but not restricted to Ghana. Mostly we extend our tentacles to other countries across the African continent. And this evening is not going to be anything new. It's one of those evenings where we are going to discuss one of those. Actually, maybe not one of those, not one of the usual, but something much, much more pertinent than some of the usual things that we discuss. That's not to say that the other things we discuss are not important, but there are times when things have to do with life and death. And where human life is concerned, all other things can wait. And that becomes the essential thing that we need to focus on. And so this evening, mostly when I start the show, I usually have a lot of things to say. But this evening is not one of those. Upon a review of the discussion that we are going to be having today, I think that the much more appropriate thing to do would be to just keep quiet and listen, because I neither have the expertise to discuss what is being discussed, nor the the what it takes to resolve it. Either way, we have those who have the knowledge, those who have the information, and those who have the expertise to be able to help us to unravel the situation that we are going to discuss today. But before we proceed to the show proper, we would like to say a very warm welcome to our regular viewers and listeners who join us. So we say a warm welcome to our listeners who are joining us on Sakina Information Center in Tatali. And we also say a warm welcome to our listeners on Adelimai Information Center, just as we say a warm welcome to our listeners on High FM 93.7 FM in Achwinhimai in the Eastern region, and those who are listening to us on the King's Radio in Accra, as well as all other people who have joined us on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and whichever medium that you are joining us. You are warmly welcome. As I said, for some time now, we have been teasing something on our social media platforms. And this is a serious health situation of none other person but a little girl whose unfortunate situation is that with the little time that she has spent on earth has been bedeviled by probably strange situations, but not situations that cannot be overcome. So today, we are going to conduct this show in a much more different way than we normally do. Today, we are going to have multiple guests today who are going to help us tackle the problem from different dimensions. And as and when the guest is ready, we are going to introduce the person. We take the person's inputs and we move on to the next guest. But before we invite our guest to join us, we would like to invite you to wherever you are joining us. Just take some time and watch this short expose. Then we'll come back to discuss the matters at hand.
The quiet farming community of Todayghananews in the Oti region, behind the sounds of daily life and the struggle for survival, lives a little girl with a story too heavy for her age. 7-year-old Richlove Kubego was born into darkness, with no eyes, a condition believed to be cryptophthalmos. Unable to hear and battling with a painful skin condition that has left her isolated from the world around her. For Richlove, every day is a fight not just to live, but to be seen, to be remembered. Tragedy struck early in her life when both parents passed away, leaving her in the care of her aging grandmother, Esther Gakpo, a once hard-working peasant farmer and food vendor whose life has now completely changed. Today, Esther spends every moment caring for her granddaughter, sacrificing her livelihood just to keep hope alive. Doctors say surgery could restore Richlove's sight, a chance for her to finally experience the beauty of the world she has never seen. But the cost of treatment and continuous medical care remains far beyond what this struggling family can afford. In a place where poverty already steals so much, Richlove's story is a painful reminder that sometimes survival itself becomes a privilege. Yet, even in the midst of suffering, there remains a spark of hope that somewhere someone will hear her silent cry and help rewrite her story. This is not just the story of Richlove Kubabo. It is the story of resilience, abandonment, sacrifice, and the urgent need for compassion.
Esther Gapo. Nina no so de Richlove Kubabo. Ni mami awu sana yawu ni sane ni na onhwe ade ni sanso enye ayawu no yesi yanko hospital wo Kolebu na ya beko ehonsu taflaga nso mbeti mi ayenso sika no ma fra maye no enchebe na ni mami Efrim ni papa nso Efrim nti akola no akameso na me hwe ne so.
My name is Victor Wacha Dauni. I'm a resident of the Amamfrum community here. And when I first heard of this story, I heard it through my brother. Actually, one day I came from farm and I saw a call on my phone. And after picking up, I was trying to find out why he's calling me, and he said, oh, this is the situation. So there's a kid here who's having problem of sight. So actually, I live in the community, but I've not heard of the story before, so I was actually doubting him. So later on, he told me that he did inform the MP of the constituency. So the MP asked them to call me. I can assist them. So I also clarified from the MP, and the MP said he too is not aware, but actually he has been contacted. So I should go ahead and look for the child. So I demanded from the people if they can give me clearer information, especially the picture of the child, because the person who I was thinking that would be the person realized that that's rather not the person. So when the picture was sent to me, I was shocked. In fact, I was not believing it. But my brothers were there and I showed them the picture and they confirmed that truly there is somebody in our community like that. So after following up, I realized that the grandmother is a known person to me. Actually, I know her very well, but I don't have any knowledge that she's having a child with such a disability with her.
The visiting me, maybe will do Gaman from her. I was showing me. Until me one and me some mammy, a trouble friend, a initial channel over. On the green, I know if it's a colanada. Timmy, I can't win and to me was my ministry for. Until the audience was so my miniature. Not my minister. It's a better baby, and I was no, I can't know why dear. Namino cram me soon. Oh, I'm going to comfort.
According to my story, when the issue happened earlier on, she tried to seek medical care. So she took the child to Trafalgar Ho. Then from Ho, they proceeded to Kolebu. So when they got to Kolebu, the doctor confirmed that the child, the eyes are there. The eyes are very good. If they do operation, the child can see. But their challenge was that the amount they called us at that time, it was 2020. 6 years ago, and the doctor demanded 100,000 Ghana cedis, which is 1 billion in the old currency, as at 2020. So from 2020 to today, we know that the price or the amount will increase. Unfortunately for us also, when they came back from the hospital, there was some windstorm where their roof was taken off and everything was destroyed. So they can't even trace the medical records of the child. So it means the process has to start from beginning. So we are appealing for assistance so that they can take the child back to Kolebu to see if they can assist them. If you listen to her story, you can see that she's not able to do anything again because of this child. Personally, I know her. She used to sell porridge, but for some time now, she has not been selling the porridge again just because anytime the people come to see the child with her with the porridge, people don't want to buy. People don't want to come closer to them again. So it's like she has become isolated because of the child. She has been doing peasant farming. But because of the nature of the child, when she goes to the farm, she cannot put the child down so that she will work. So virtually, she's no more doing anything. She's only been assisted by the son and the other family members. But if you look at the condition, she's not able to fend for the child.
Masa abusua no ya to mre mo pa e hu nto ye ta fra we ye to me ro sa abusua no ye ni sika se nkrofo ka se ya ma boni bi na yaye eni tu na abba musa anti ye ni to ni ye boni ya abba sa no ye tu no kumu no so se ye so ni mu ka tra sa nya mi pe ya no
So far as I am pinning around, I in the constituency. And next day, I getting his title is a plus to him, the MP. Until we to me a DH, it's a main poor metia. Na process no, I met me a command who am I dinner because I can't come with me and an site and also here.
So all that we are saying is that anybody that this video will come to and anybody that is hearing of us, the story is true. We are appealing for assistance so that after the doctor confirmed that the child can see if operation is done, you come to our aid and assist us so that at the end of the day, our grandmother to be relieved and the child too will be relieved.
Ntima betu ye dia. Pamucheu mbwa mi. Na sikano na minya na mkoye na ninu mano. Ntimi pamucheu.
Welcome back. At the beginning of the show, I said that this is not one of the shows where I talk a lot. This is one where I turn the mic to the other side so that those who are well versed with the situation can talk more authoritatively to it. And on this note, I would like to invite our first guest for the show, Lawrence Ampiani Yeboah, who is no stranger to most of us because we see him mostly on this network. But seeing that we are on a different show, Lawrence, I would like to welcome you to today's show.
Thank you.
So that we can have, let's bring all of us to the same point so that we can have an understanding on the discussion that we are having. I know you, some people know you, but not everybody
know each other, of course.
Not everybody watching know you. So introduce yourself briefly to us, and let's get the show cracking.
Right. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Lawrence Ampiani Yeboah. I'm a broadcast journalist with Todayghananews TV, the host of Nokremre on this particular network. So I think for that should be enough. I'm not new to this channel.
Yeah, Lawrence. This is not something that we normally. These are not our normal terrain. So this is something new to all of us. Your regular job is a journalist, but you also host this particular show. What got you involved in this? How did you get yourself involved in this particular story?
Okay, so the news actually got to our management. All of you know our boss, Mr. Seth, and it also came to him through somebody who found a girl in their deprived community. So it was reported to the management to see how best we can help. And when it got to the management, I was actually assigned to this particular assignment to go and see the situation on the ground. So we got our things together and moved. So for us here in Ghana, especially in Accra, we think everything happens within Accra. I think sometimes it's best if you move to other places to observe what is going on. So we got there. actually a deprived, remote area. It wasn't easy getting there, but we got there because we were focused on getting or bringing the story out. So we did everything we could aside of the challenges. Finally, we got to the place. We met the family. We met the girl. With the support of people who also help us to get to the place. I want to say a big thank you to Nana Hima, Madam Dorcas, in Nkwanta, and some other people who help us to get to the place. And it was a very sad situation, I must say. In fact, it took me a lot to put together this story. At a point, I couldn't even hold myself to find a little girl in that situation. I tried everything manly possible before I was able to, gather the story because I couldn't hold it. But this is the story we have now. This is the situation at hand, and we are here now.
Yeah. So you said that they are in a deprived community. Where exactly are they in Ghana?
Okay, so Dododan is actually in the Nkwanta. It's a suburb in the Nkwanta South District. And it's actually a farming community. So the main economic activity there is farming. So Oti region, Nkwanta to be specific, that's where we can find Dododan.
Okay. And so from the excerpts of the documentary that we just watched, we see that you spoke with the family. Can you give us a little background of the family from what you have, the information you'll be able to pick up about Richlove's family?
Right. So Richlove, as we all heard in the documentary, is an orphan. The mom is late, the dad is late, and she's being taken care of by the grandmother who is aging. And sometimes get support from the grand aunt, because in the community, because of Richlove's situation, most of the people around or in the community have abandoned them, thinking that Richard is under some sort of Richlove, I beg your pardon, is under some sort of spell. Is actually what the family did, and in our community, you know how we think about such situations. So a lot of people have abandoned them. The woman happened to be a peasant farmer, but because of the situation now, she cannot do anything. You look at the child very well, she cannot speak. I think she can hear, but she cannot speak. She cannot see. She also has a situation with the hands. And it's very complicated dealing with a child like that. So due to the situation, the woman had to quit everything that she was doing just to take care of the family. And it's actually a poor family. It's actually a poor family. That's how they live in the community. So sometimes if people who are close do not come to at least support the family, even feeding is a problem. So that's the state of the family.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about, I see you just introduced the topic, but I also wanted to talk about the wider community and their neighbors and their relatives, because I see from the documentary that some other people from the community spoke up in their own small way. What are some of this? Is Richlove able to get some, some additional support from the society, the wider society, in any way, or they are just left to them to themselves, just she and her grandmother?
I must say, looking at the situation on the ground, looking at the state of the community and the kind of economic activity they are involved in, it's not even possible raising that kind of amount to even support. And secondly, people are also detaching from the family, thinking that the family is actually under some sort of curse or spell, and nobody is coming close. From the documentary or from my interview, I realized that even the amount that was mentioned from the early stage of the issue, that was some years ago, was like 100,000 Ghana cedis. And even as at that time, they couldn't raise it. No, so that actually informs me that nobody is even willing to, come to their aid. So it actually took us to come out and unravel the story. Bring it out for people to actually see and look at how maybe we can involve other organizations to come in to support in whichever way. But for the family, I can tell you on authority that it's actually difficult.
And as we may know, the situation in Ghana and in most parts of Africa, the cost of things only tend to rise and not to fall over time. So whatever figures that you are talking about now are figures that were gotten years ago,
Like
and
6, 7 years ago.
which probably gives the impression that as things stand, if we were to go for a quotation, those figures might change.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we will let you go shortly because so that we can bring on our other guest. But with the kind of work that we do, sometimes when you cover a story, there are aspects of the story that you see, but that you are not able to portray all of that in the short, reportage that you carry out. Are there some parts of this that probably we have missed out that you would want to bring us into into the frame as we discuss this matter moving forward?
Uh, there's an extensive or extended version of the documentary, but I think this particular one actually carries out all the important information. So I think for now, we are good. We're just looking forward to getting some doctors around. But unfortunately for Richlove's situation, we can't even trace their documents because from their early stages, there was a storm that actually destroyed everything in their home. So now we can't even trace the document to even talk to health practitioners to see where this thing goes. But with the information that we have, this is enough.
Well, they say that when it rains, it pours. Yeah, when problem comes, it comes in heaps. And it appears this is the situation that Rich Love has found herself. So we'll let you go. If there's anything that you want to say in a few seconds, there's a chance for you to say it. Then we'll let you go for now.
Oh, for now, I think it's imperative that we let the experts come in, and let's see. I think you already have somebody on the line, so I'll be at the background whilst we listen to some other persons. Of course, Nana Hima, one of the people or one of the persons that actually, took us to the place and also helped in facilitating where our accommodation and all that. She did a lot. Since she's already on the line, I think we should also, because she has most of the information. Before we even got there, she introduced her to the whole situation. So I think she's also the best person to talk about.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lawrence, for your time, and we are grateful to you for the good work that you have done so far. We are most grateful. So let's welcome Nana Hima, who is joining us to discuss the sad situation of Richlove. Nana, good evening and welcome to the show. Please unmute yourself. Kindly unmute yourself.
Sorry. Please, I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Good evening once again for welcoming me into your show this evening.
we are welcome to my view show on Today Ghana News TV. So before you joined us, we're talking to our reporter Lawrence, and he tells us about the role that you played in assisting to uncover this situation. What is the peculiar situation of Richlove that is known to you that you want the world to know about?
Okay, thanks very much for such an interview and taking a whole show time to just talk about Rich Love. I'm much grateful and I appreciate your studio for the good work you are doing for the people around the country. I'll not stay outside alone because right now, as we are talking, the show you are doing is basically for a child who is living in an interior area known as Dodo Amanfrom in the Akan district, that is KJB district. Um, since March, I have to go and visit one godmother of mine at Dodo Amanfrom. So I went there. I went there very early on time, and uh, I was in the temple looking at how the situation was going. Rich Love and the grandmom came there. When they entered into the temple, the grandmom was just carrying Rich Love at the back. So I thought Rich Love was sleeping. No, no, Rich Love cannot see at all. No, even there is no even eyelashes at the back of Rich Love eyes. As I knew we can see. Though if someone is blind, you can see the shape of the eye, the eyelashes and everything. This one, nothing like this can be shown. So I was sitting there quietly, observing maybe Rich Love is sleeping. That's why I'm seeing such situation. I saw that the grandmom just carry her off her back, and I saw Rich Love holding the back of the grandmom. So wherever the grandmom is going, that is the direction which Rich Love is also heading towards. So in fact, that day I wept. I wept tolerantly. So I have to go to this mother I went to visit and ask her, Ma, what is the situation? What happens to this girl? And she said, that is how they gave birth to her to be. Rich Love, since childbirth, she cannot see. And even the where the eyeballs are is not even directly facing where ours are. And I asked her, so can this girl be alone in case the grandmom is not alive? She said that is the question they are all asking each other. So I first of all asked her the steps they have taken first. And she said they gave birth to her at Dodo Dine, a hospital clinic over there. So after that, they asked her, the mom, to send her to Trafalgar. It's around who. So they went there and they said they should send the girl to Kolebu Teaching Hospital. So when they get there, as my brother Lawrence said, they should raise an amount of 10,000, more than 10,000, 100,000. There is no money in the system. They have to come back and leave Rich Love blind. And unfortunately, the fingers like this, the palm like this, they are also not open. It's something like that. Only some see is like this. So all the palms are also closed. Rich Love can hear you talking, but she cannot talk back. The worst part is what? How she cannot see at all. So I asked of the mom and the dad, and they said, unfortunately, they are all not alive. So the grandma is the one handling Rich Love. Because of that, the food, the woman was selling porridge every morning. People said they have, Ghanaians how we behave. So they will not buy the food. So the woman have to stop selling the porridge and start to handle Rich Love. And my brother, in his own world, the girl is really suffering. The very day I went there with Brad Lawrence for this interview and other thing, in fact, when this girl needs something, unless to be hitting the head, the hands will be hitting the head. And I asked the grandmom, so what is that? And she said, if she needs something, even if she will eat, those are the signs that she has been doing. And even in their own home, the junior mom, whom Ghanaians we call Mami Kuma or Mami Penny, are not ready to carry Rich Love at their back. One said, "Me ferry," so it's only the grandma. And the question is, Rich Love is a female. Today, if Rich Love grandmoms pass on, we are not praying so. How is she going to live in this world? Excuse me to use this language. Women at a stage, we have to go through some process, being it the menstruation process. In case Rich Love is in this situation, this age, and the grandmom is not there, how is she going to live? That made me push her videos and pictures to your show so that you can join hands together with those who are feeling pity with us to raise some amount of money so that Rich Love will gain her sight, because it's very terrible.
Okay.
It's very terrible. Thank you for now.
I think for now you have given us a proper background on the situation of Rich Love. Before we get our next guest to join us, see, a lot of things are coming together that makes the situation quite difficult to take. In her condition, you probably have some information on the community as well. How is the general community reacting to this situation? How do they treat her and the family?
Thanks for asking. Bro, it's never easy for the grandma. Even those they live apartment with don't want to get nearer to Rich Love and the grandma. That's what I'm saying. A typical example from where Rich Love is even eating from. Her own aunties are not ready to embrace Rich Love. And my brother, see it, how more the community. The community are not ready to even the first day we call the MP, how should I even say it? MP, this thing, the one who is in charge of the MP when the MP is not around in the town. She was arguing. He said he thought Lawrence is using Rich Love for maybe money because such situation is not in their community. So when Uncle Lawrence tried to call him, he's not trying to give him the right information. He said he doesn't know, nothing like that is in the community. So till we went there before the man also went and saw Rich Love. And frankly, no one is getting nearer to them. Even the other woman they interviewed, the fair woman, the way we struggled before we get her, it was not easy. They are not ready because they seem to be different story altogether. Those are the ways. So the community, they are not living in good terms with Rich Love and the grandmom in the community. So according to the grandmom, she doesn't go anywhere. When people see them, the way they always look at them, they don't even come nearer to them.
In fact, I could still even picture as at now how an auntie, a young auntie of Rich Love, told us straight in the face that she can't she can't carry Rich Love. Even just for the interview.
Yeah.
Wanted her to come close. And she doesn't even want her face to be seen where Rich Love is. I don't know why I keep saying Rich Love. She doesn't want to have anything to do with Rich Love. And this is Rich Love's mother's younger sister. A direct family, one blood. Even her, she doesn't want to have anything to do with the young girl. And that is how sad the situation is. So you can imagine if families are not even ready to accept her and show her the love that she deserves. At some point, I was wondering why the name Rich Love when she's not receiving any love, not even from a family. This is how sad the situation is. And like I
Oh,
said earlier, even me as a guy, hearing them say what they said, I couldn't put myself together. I couldn't hold it. So right after the interview, Nana Hima was my witness. I told her I had to, I mean, stay strong for that interview because it broke me. It's one of the interviews that has really taken something out of me. Up till now, anytime I think about the situation, trust you me, I start to think differently.
okay. Um, let's try and move the conversation a little bit forward. So at this point, we will thank you, Nanahima, for your presence, for the advocacy that you have made for Rick Love, and for making time to join us this evening for this particular show and for the expose. We are most grateful to you. We would get our other guests also involved in the show, and together we are positive that maybe we can find a solution one way or the other. Thank you very much, Nanahima, for joining us. So, if you have been listening to us over the past half of the show, we spoke to Lawrence, who is a journalist on this network, who is the one who discovered the Richlove'S situation with the help of Nanahima, who joined us later. Together, the two of them have helped to give us a background on Richlove's situation and how she got to be in her predicament and how and what she is going through. We'll take a short break now. We'll return shortly. We'll take some comments from our viewers. Then we get our the two remaining guests who would help us with our way forward. Thank you very much. Go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Beyond Makeup, where beauty and confidence are taken to a whole new level. Here, we pamper and take care of you like royalty. Enjoy our gentle waxing, refreshing facials, and soothing massages that melt away stress and leave your skin glowing. We also offer professional makeup services, manicures, pedicures, durable nail extensions, and perfectly sculpted ombre brows. We give you the most perfect soft lashes that highlight your natural beauty. At Beyond Makeup, every visit is more than just a service. It's an experience of care, elegance, and transformation. Locate us at Chado Last Stop or call us on 0559 933 505 or 0506 474 911. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Beyond Makeup, your journey to wellness starts here.
Welcome back to my view show here live on Today Ghana News TV, where this evening we are having quite a heavy discussion. We have been discussing the terrible health situation of Richlove, who is going through something that no human being should be going through, and together we want to discuss the situation and see what remedy can be had for her and what we can do to ameliorate her situation, or at least, if not take it away completely, but try and bring some level of relief to her, to her, and to make her life better off. So we thank our regular viewers and listeners who are joining us on Adelema Information Center Adelema Information Center. Also to those who are joining us on the Sakina Information Center in Tatali. Also to those who are joining us on High FM 93.7 at Chinyimai, and also to all those who are joining us on the King's Radio and everybody who's joining us on all social media platforms. Thank you very much for sticking and staying with us as we move on to the next phase of the show. So let's take some comments from our viewers and listeners who have joined us this evening. Comrade Charles Poku said, Comrade Albert, long time. Yeah, it's really been quite a while. Thank you very much for your comment. We are grateful. Nana Tefrim, you say, good job. May God grant her sight. You are watching from Tatali in northern Ghana. Thank you very much, Nana Tefrim, and all the people of Sakina Information Center who join us from Tatali. Nana Tefrim, you are saying your greetings from Tatali in northern Ghana. Our greetings to you and the people of Tatali as well. Our next comment comes from Dennis Andabang. Dennis, hope you are doing well. How are the people of Upper West region? You say, good evening, Albert. It has been a while. Yes, it's really been. You are wishing, I wish you the best of program. Thank you very much. You are doing the monitoring from WA in the Upper West region. Thank you very much, Dennis, for always making time to join us. Robert Kimpi, you say, hey, you are watching from Paris in France. The story is very sorrowful. Indeed, it is. I have nothing else to add to that. NDC Diaspora Union, you say, may God intervene for them. This is very serious. May God and the government come to their aid. You are watching from Amsterdam, Holland. Thank you very much, NDC Diaspora Union. Asempa Hinebuachi, you see, you are watching with a heavy heart from Achinhimai. Bravo to you guys. Thank you very much, Asempa Hinebuachi, for doing the watching. Mavis Boating, you see, this is very sad and disheartening to watch. You are watching from Lisbon, Portugal. Thank you very much, Mavis, for joining us. Frempon Buffy, you say, this is very sad. I'm even crying. You are watching from Akusi. Thank you very much, Frempong Buffy, for doing the watching. Jaframa TV, you say you are watching from Rara in Uti region. Dodo is very close to is very close to you, you mean. God have mercy. Thank you very much. Quickly, you say, let's share this to reach the whole world. Thank you very much, Quickly, for your comment. Frima Oye, you say, Missful God, please look at them. Thank you very much, Frima, for your comment. Sikapa TV, you say, I can't hold my tears. Oh God. We are grateful to you for your comment, Sikapa TV. As we are grateful to all the viewers who have made time to join us this evening. For those who are watching, who haven't shared their comments, we are grateful to you as well. Margaret Houston, you are saying you are watching from Nkwanta. Our queen has done well. God bless you for doing this for the little girl. Thank you very much, Margaret. Thank you very much. And thank you to everybody who has joined us. As we move forward in the show, some people, we see that there's a lot of lamentation and good wishes, but let's not let our lamentation end at that. For those who are watching, please let this go as far as possible to reach as many people as possible, so that together we can come together to provide some aid and assistance to Richlove in her condition. Now, let's go and have our other two guests. We would invite, at this point, we invite Miss Ida Sa. Miss Sa is the Director of African Disability Policy Advocate, ADPA, and she's time this evening to join us. Speaking to you, Miss Sa, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Good evening, Dr. Albert.
Good evening. Good evening to you as well.
I'm pleased to join this.
We are happy to have you join us on today's show. We have been wanting to have you, but today we have you. Unfortunately, it is on this sad situation that we have had you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization and what you do, so that we take it over from there.
Okay, let me introduce again myself. My name is Aida Sa. I'm from Senegal, and I'm the Executive Director of African Disability Policy Advocates, that is ADPA. And our goal is to promote inclusive policy making and governance systems that uphold the rights of persons with disabilities. So I think that it's very important, when we talk about ADPA, but also I speak not only as a participant in this conversation, but also as someone who has worked for over 20 years as a journalist and disability rights advocate. And the story of Richlove is very, very sad. And what we need to understand is that Richlove has several types of disability. That is very important to say. This is a physical disability. She can't walk. Though she can hear, she can't see. And so I think that her case is very, very particular. So this is really what I wanted to say as an introduction. Dr. Albert.
Yes. The situation of Richlove is particularly peculiar because, you see, it starts from one disability and it compounds. Because of one disability, it brings further disability to her because she cannot see. And because she cannot see, of course, affects communication. She cannot communicate, affects the coordination of her nerves. She cannot walk, and it just keeps piling up. It's not. It's more like one disability piled up on top of another. At what point did Richlove's condition come to your attention?
Okay. Well, it comes to my attention as a journalist because I'm part also of Promo Africa. So I think that the role of Promo Africa, the network of journalists, is very important on advocating for the rights of Richlove's. So I think that there is a turning point, on this Promo Africa. Just briefly, who is Promo Africa and what we have done for years. So a key milestone in this journey was the Dakar Declaration in 2008. So Promo Africa was born in 2008. And at this time, there were no policy, there was a UN convention, but it was not ratified by many states. But even today, many African governments, including Ghana, the Republic of Ghana, has ratified this convention. So our role as a journalist also is to remind government their commitment to regional and international human rights of persons with disabilities. So that moment was transformative. I think that it challenged, I think, states to rethink how to report for journalists on disability from the human rights perspectives. And I'm very glad because I think that two people, they were I think the journalist, one of my colleagues, and the lady, but though we are requesting support for Richlove, you can't feel a kind of charity approach. They are more focused on the human rights approach because Richlove'S has a right. It should not be there to, seek support. It should be something that government should do. But since they can't be everywhere, our role as journalists is to disseminate information. This is also to do a kind of investigation. And you can see it through this documentary. This is a very good work of, investigative journalism. So this is where, Promo Africa comes, working in Africa for years to advocate for the rights of persons with disabilities from human rights perspective. Dr. Albert.
That's quite a unique role that your organization and you have to play. As you may know, our station is a disability friendly organization, and look, in most of our discussions, we said, look, people think that they are not bothered about disability, but an able person today can become disabled tomorrow. Anybody can become disabled. So
Right.
we try to remind people that it is in everybody's interest to seek support for those who found themselves in one way or the other with extra support. And we are grateful that we have organizations like yours who do the work that you do. We would like to encourage you as and so that as we continue to partner with you to bring the situations of disability more to the fore so that we can have them addressed as much as possible. We have been holding you for some time. Before we let you go, is there some information that you would like to pass on to our listeners and viewers before we let you go this evening?
Yes, absolutely. I would like to say that as myself, I'm a person, a woman with a physical disability. So I understand very well the issue. And also, I would like to emphasize that through investigative reporting, advocacy journalism, and storytelling, the media has contributed to raising visibility, as we are doing with Richlove, of persons with disabilities in public debate. So what we want is just to encourage a public debate on the case of Richlove and supporting advocacy efforts that led to stronger national disability laws. And just to remind you that though Ghana has ratified the UN Convention on the Right of Persons with Disabilities, I think that they did not yet ratify the African Disability Protocol, though they are in the process, as well as my country. So just to call the government, a call for action, the government to ratify this protocol, because this protocol actually is adapted to the African context. So I think that the case of Richlove really fits in this African disability policies. And just to conclude, Dr. Albert, in many ways, policy change has often followed public awareness, and public awareness has often been driven by the media. Just to show you, to tell you that the role of media is very critical. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sa, for making time to join us this evening. We are most grateful to you. And we would like to implore that maybe one of these days we can have an extended show just between you and us, so that we can discuss matters of disability in Africa in detail.
My pleasure, Dr. Albert. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that was Ms. Ida Sa, who is Executive Director of the African Disability Policy Advocates, ADPA, and she made time to join us this evening. Together, we are partnering with them to bring light to Richlove'S situation and to push this as far as we can. So at this point, we would invite our last guest for the show, and we have been reserving him for the last bit because he brings us a perspective that none of us have. So let's welcome Peter Hassler, who is joining us from the UK, right?
That's right.
Good. And thank you very much for making time to join us this evening. First of all, before we proceed with the conversation, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, It's been a difficult watch, hasn't it? That documentary, difficult watch.
Yeah, as a media practitioner, it's not very often that I run out of words, but I watch it and I cannot find the appropriate words to express myself when I watch something like that. It would take somebody with a heart of stone not to be moved by something like that. And yeah, so we are grateful that you have made time to join us. Okay, so before we go, we have had various guests join us at various points and tell us at what point they have gotten involved in the situation. You are far away in UK. This is happening in a remote area in Ghana. At what point did the Richlove situation come to your attention?
So yeah, I am a mental health nurse by training, and I worked in the mental health services for, well, in fact, this year will be the 50th year, believe it or not, that I've been working in mental health services. But I'm no stranger to Ghana. I've been coming to Ghana for about 8 or 9 years, and every year I come once or twice to run programs around mental health awareness. And your journalist Lawrence is a dear friend of mine, and he has helped us in the past with our communications for the charity that I work for, called patron for the charity. It's called Bestel. And so he's been in kind of close contact with me all of that time. Told me about Richlove quite early on, before he went to do the documentary, and we talked it through, and I was kind of touched by the story then, even before seeing the excellent piece that he pulled together. So I've known about the story for a little while. I would, really important for me to say at this stage, I am no expert in eye conditions, but I've become having to research and look up a lot of information to try and understand the condition that Richlove is suffering with, which I'll tell you a bit more about.
Hmm. Hmm. All right. So let's go with maybe areas that are within your domain. Then we spread out to the broader health areas. You are a mental health nurse. Um,
Yes.
Seeing what those closest to Rich Love are going through, um,
Mm.
mentally and psychologically, and Rich Love
Yeah.
herself. What's your assessment of probably their current state of mental health, having to deal with a situation
Yeah.
as have been painted?
Yeah, I think firstly, I was so touched by the dedication and the love of Richlove's grandmother, who's taken on this huge burden after Richlove's parents had died, and it's become her life to support Richlove in the best way that she knows. And I think, as previous speakers have said, there is this concern which I'm sure the grandmother holds is, what next? She isn't going to be here forever. What happens to Richlove when I'm no longer here? And I think that is a central issue, really. I think a bit like mental health, physical disabilities carry with them a lot of stigma, and people suffer with a lot of discrimination because of their level of understanding of the situation. And we heard that from the documentary and from speakers that people are fearful. They don't understand it, so they back away, and even doing the most basic of uh, things to help the grandmother and Richlove kind of become a problem. So that is something I've seen throughout my career, where people are often isolated and discriminated against, and it is so often about people's understanding and a fear that they don't really understand it. So let's try not to get involved. And I think that's probably the starting point in many ways for the future for Richlove is, how do we educate the local community to accept Richlove as an individual, as a human being with difficulties and problems, but she is still a human being.
Well, let's try and get into probably understanding what appreciation we have of the health situation that she's going through. What is your understanding so far of what the situation is with Richlove as it stands?
Yeah. Well, let's start with her obvious eye issue. That condition, doctors call it cryptophthalmus, which has different levels of severity. And it's effectively where it's a congenital condition. So, people are born that way, where their eyelids have not formed properly, or they've not, the eyelids and have not formed properly. So and what we see from the photos and the video of Richlove, that she has the most severe version of that, which is a sort of complete covering of both eyes. The condition can be less severe, where you get sort of partial coverage of the eyes, or you get one eye covered and not the other one. But you can see that she is at the very the highest scale of that condition. And so that's her eye condition, and I think for me, I think the what really needs to happen regarding that is a very skillful assessment of what is behind those the skin behind over her eye sockets, because at this stage nobody really knows what is there, whether there are formed pupils, eyeballs, or whether they were malformed at birth as well. The research says that actually there's a very high chance that there will be damage to the eyes as well, and you know, that's what we really don't know. But I think from my point of view, the you know, before anyone sort of considered or even thought about, you know, surgical intervention, for example, there needs to be proper scans and a real good understanding about the eye and the optic nerve to see what actually is the damage there. To that end, I have been in contact with a very kind of world famous eye hospital in London called Moorfield, sort of known across the world as a leading eye hospital. So I've been in conversation with them about could they actually give that professional opinion, and we're still in negotiation about that. But you know, this is a condition that's so rare that even people who work in that specialist field may go through their whole profession and never see a case like this.
Yes.
It's extremely rare. So I'm certainly from this side of the world trying to get that first stage of a professional opinion on exactly how severe the condition is behind the skin that covers her eyes. And I don't know whether in Ghana there is the scanning machines available to actually do that, or whether it would have to be done in another country. But for me, that would be the sensible first step, and really to be very cautious about saying, you know, we are going to try and restore Richlove's eyesight, because that may never be possible, because the condition is possibly so severe that her eye was never properly developed, and obviously waiting the 6 or 7 years, because normally any intervention would have been done straight after birth, really. So 6 or 7 years on, that may have even compounded the problem further.
Yeah,
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's like you said, as you were making your point, my attention was drawn to the longevity of the intervention, seeing that right from birth to 7, even if they were eyes but were not properly developing within this period, of course, there will be some kind of impairment along the line if that was the situation. But we also know that it's possible to still make some kind of interventions in the lives of people who go through some these severe disabilities, so that at least we can restore them to some level of functionality as humans. Maybe not 100% functionality, but some degree of functionality can be actually achieved. Is it merely a theoretical assumption, or this actually something that is doable?
Yeah, well, I think that you make a very, very valid point, and of course, you know, hundreds and thousands of people who go through life blind, who manage to live very fulfilling lives and to do all sorts of amazing things. In the UK, we've had members of Parliament who are blind from birth, and they've you know reached that level of you know public you know positions. So I think the second stage of this really is, possibly sort of accepting that it may be that, we will never, Richlove may always be blind. It would be fantastic if that wasn't the case, but let's say that is a strong possibility. That the next level is really about what can be done to improve her life generally. And I notice from as Lawrence has told me and has been said, that she is able to hear. So there we have one area that is very positive, and that makes a huge difference to be able to hear what's going on. She hasn't learnt to speak, but there's no reason why that couldn't be possible with specialist help. I think that in her own way, as the video showed, that she is communicating in her own way, as someone was saying about banging her head when she's hungry, and that may be the level of her communication at the moment. And I think that's really where the effort needs to be put, is actually what support can be put there to maximize what Richlove can build on. At the moment, she seems to be unable to walk, but that may well be because she's never really been supported to walk. The chances are all her muscles are wasted because they've not been used. And it's perfectly possible that with sort of intensive physiotherapy, for example, she could rebuild those muscles and at least weight bear and possibly even walk with a frame or whatever. And I think these are really positive ambitions that we need to be thinking about, that would make her life much more bearable, and for her grandmother to give her some hope that actually Richlove could live a fulfilling life in the future. And I think that's where we need to think about, really, is how can we put together some intensive support to really improve Richlove's functioning.
All right.
And for me, the other, I just one more thing which I think is really key to this as well. We've heard how the local community have kind of shunned Richlove. They don't want to get involved, and that must be making the situation 100 times worse for her grandmother. And I think ideally there needs to be some education programs for the community of Richlove, the village, to actually get them to see that actually their role in this is really important as well. They need not be fearful or scared of the situation, and small gestures that they can make will make a huge difference to people accepting Richlove as a human being and someone with a future.
All right. I would let you go briefly, but before I let you go, I think I might have heard you say that you work with a charity, and
Yes.
And then you also have this contact with this eye hospital, which is well renowned. All
Yes.
of these are possible interventions that can be made. But at this point, is there any sense, seeing that we are broadcasting and we don't know how far this might go because we are on the internet, is there some additional maybe support that probably we would like to put out there, so that in case it's picked up by somebody, the person we could seek that support, that support to remedy the situation a little?
Yeah. So I think this story will go on because we are only at the beginning of raising awareness, and that's the important thing that this short videos has actually started to do. I think there must be people who would be able to provide some of that more practical support within the, perhaps not the village, but the surrounding area, who could perhaps give support to relieve some of the burden to the grandmother, to start to maximize some of the things that Richlove can do. And as I say, we know that she can hear. That is very positive indeed. And she has her own way of communicating that can be built upon. So I think for anyone who might be listening, who knows the area that we're talking about, I understand it's quite isolated. I know it took Lawrence 18 hours to get there from Accra. It's actually some very practical support like that, I think, is a really fantastic contribution to this story. I will personally continue my quest, as it were, to get the professional opinion from the eye specialists, so that we can kind of understand that properly, and if there is any intervention that is possible, then that's going to be a big thing. But first of all, we need to understand it. We need to really it would be, people have been saying restore her eyesight. I think that's probably unlikely, but God moves in mysterious ways.
Thank you very much, Peter, for making time to join us this evening, and for getting involved in this situation, and for all the assistance that you've been given so far. We are grateful that you are able to do this, and we will do our best as humans, just as you are doing, and try to intervene as much as possible to restore some level of functionality to the life of Richlove. And we are grateful to you for making time to join us this evening.
Thank you very much, Albert.
Thank you very much, Peter. And we're also saying thank you to all our guests who made time to join us. As we said at the top of the show, this is quite a unique show. We normally don't do the show in this format, but this was quite important because of the gravity of the situation that we are saddled with. And we are grateful to everybody who made time to join us today for this evening's show. If you are watching, I hear a lot of people lamenting and praying to God. We can do much more than lamenting and praying. What we can also do is to share this as widely as possible. We don't know who it may reach and what support we can be able to gather for Richlove. So let's try and spread this message as far as possible, so that we together would be able to bring our humanity to the fore, and to be able to give some kind of meaning to what can salvage from Richlove, and make her have a fulfilled life, as we've been discussing. So we are grateful to everybody who have made time to join us. We say thank you to our own colleague, Lawrence, who discovered this story somewhere along the line and was able to help us to bring it to you. We are grateful to Lawrence for bringing this story up, and we're also grateful to Nanaima, who also at some point also joined us in the show and also shared the background. And we're also grateful to Miss Ida, who joined us from their perspective and what they've been doing to help people with disability across the African continent. And of course, we are very grateful to Peter Hasler, who has taken the story up and is trying to give it as much reach as possible, so that we can be together. We can be able to get some level of help for Richlove. But before we sign out, we also like to say thank you to our viewers and listeners who are joining us from Sakina Information Center in Tetali. And we're also grateful to our listeners who are joining us on Adelema Information Center, just as we're grateful to our listeners on High FM 93.7 in Achievemai, and also to those who are joining us on the King's Radio in Accra, and for all those who are joining us on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and wherever that you may be viewing us from, and wherever you are seeing this video. We are grateful to you for your time, and we implore you to send this as widely as possible. Thank you very much for your help. God bless you. God bless all of us. Good night. Stay blessed.
The country where I come from, the truth is an irony. Just like animal farm, justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence, Islamic leaders silence.